Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it. And we're going to start with some things that were discussed at the last City Council meeting, which was Tuesday, October 25th. And I'm going to start with one that I think caught a lot of us off guard. And that was talking about the body camera program that the Pittsfield Police Department is implementing. And this week, they were supposed to be starting their pilot program. And that was putting the cameras on 8 officers. And the reason for the pilot program is working with the different companies who offer these services in selecting the right equipment, how it's going to be activated, start the trials on that, and getting through the selection process. And that is a very complicated process. There's a lot of moving parts that go with that a lot of people don't really think about. It's not as simple as just throwing a camera on a police officer and saying, off you go. It's how those cameras will be activated, how they will be used. There's privacy concerns for the officers. Obviously, you can't have a camera running when they go to the bathroom or when they're on their lunch breaks. And there's different options available. There's things like sensors that can be placed in the holster of their firearm or their taser. And when they remove that from its holster, the sensor will trigger the body camera on. There's all sorts of different things that need to be looked at and what is the right fit for our police department. And then, of course, the storage of the data, which is the most expensive part of the whole program, but how the data is stored, accessibility for under the Freedom of Information Act when people are requesting body camera footage for things that they want, whether they were pulled over or they were arrested or things like that. So there is a lot of moving parts that go to that. And Captain Gary Traversa got up and spoke in front of the council. Chief Wynn was not there. And Captain Traversa told us, due to union concerns, that's been put on pause. The mayor got up and spoke for, I don't know, a few minutes, if that, on it, and really had nothing to say other than she hopes that this gets moving soon. So that was really disappointing to hear, because from the information I have, a large majority of our police officers are in favor of the body cameras. The public overwhelmingly wants it. You know, in this country, we have 7 or 8 states that mandate body cameras. And in today's world, having our law enforcement officers equipped with body cameras for audio and video is necessary. I think it's necessary to protect everyone involved. Everyone. And what a great tool to have, and it's crazy not to have it and to not invest in that. So I hope whatever concerns the police union has, they can work them out quickly. So I'll be making some phone calls and try to get more information on that and figure out where we stand. And hopefully that gets back on track as soon as possible. Some good things happened this week. Yesterday, Wednesday the 26th, Governor Baker, along with Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, Community One Stop for Growth program, mass development, they were all here in awarding some financial grants to the city of Pittsfield. We received a $3 million grant for the William Stanley Business Park, specifically Site 9, which is one of the most blighted eyesores in the city and has been for a long time, to finally start cleaning that up, to get it ready to offer to companies. Now, I know the last election cycle, many of you remember, this always happens during campaigns. We were told, I believe by the mayor and by our business development director, Michael Coakley, that there was some serious interest in it. They couldn't talk about it, and they couldn't mention any names, but there was a big company interested in it. They talked about possibly putting tunnels under Woodlawn Ave to move product or whatever out for shipping, and then of course we never heard about it again. Not a peep. As soon as that election was over, we never heard about it again. But I don't know, this is a good thing. That site needs to be cleaned up. So a huge thank you to Community One Stop for Growth program, mass development, and of course Governor Baker's administration and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito. Huge work there to make sure that, I mean, Governor Baker has invested a lot in Berkshire County, a lot more than any other governor has in my lifetime. So that is very good news. Interprint, which is located out on the Pittsfield-Richmond line, right near Balderdash. They were awarded a $500,000 grant towards the expansion that they're doing for their facility. So that's more good news. The loss of Mission, which is live entertainment. Mission is located on North Street. They'll be leaving the end of the month. There's another business that announced that they were leaving. We've seen a lot leave North Street, which is very sad, very sad. Losing businesses like we have the past couple years, and I don't think it's a coincidence with the changes that have been made to North Street. So that's something I'm going to talk about in a different video, because next week, this platform, Meta, Facebook, puts their restrictions out because it's a political week, so you can't do any political video posts or anything like that, or boost them, I should say. So starting next week, I'll be doing some business promos, focusing on local businesses. I've got some really cool things lined up. So we'll be talking a lot about businesses in Pittsfield, you know, how business owners feel, is it a business-friendly climate? You know, all those things that people are willing to discuss. Because I know a lot of people fear backlash from the city if they say anything that is construed as negative. Unfortunately, we live in that type of community where you have to worry about retaliation from local government. And it's sad, but that is a reality. So another thing I want to discuss that was talked about at the last city council meeting was the selection of our auditor. And having our books audited has been something that is always talked about. You hear forensic audit thrown around a lot. You hear all these things thrown around a lot. So having an auditor is something that we've had, you have to have. It's mandated by law. And we were ready to select another auditor. So a selection committee was put together that consisted of our city council president, Peter Marchetti, our accountant, Crespo, and our finance director, Matt Kerwood. And Matt holds a bunch of titles now, tax assessor, finance director, kind of like Ricardo Morales is in charge of all these things. Matt Kerwood wears a ton of hats too. And so the selection committee put out a request for RFPs. You know, they put the RFPs out, and it boiled down to two companies, Melanson and Scanlon. Scanlon has been auditing our books for 20 years, as long as Peter Marchetti's been a city councilor. For 20 years, they've been auditing our books. Now, the state does recommend that you rotate auditors. That's something the state recommends. So that was a concern. Another concern was that the selection committee consisted of, 2/3 of it consisted of the people that their work was going to be audited. So that was a concern. Some people thought it was an ethical issue. But they ended up choosing Scanlon over Melanson. Melanson, as a company, Melanson Accounting, underbid Scanlon by $33,500. That's over a 3-year period. So they underbid them, but we went with the same auditor that we've used for the past 20 years. And I had to laugh at some of the things some of the counselors said, because believe me, I can't wait to use those words back against them. Like Earl Persip said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's his point of view. That's why we need to keep them. We're not looking, you know, what's $33,500. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. Really kind of like North Street. Dina Lampiazzi, our Ward 6 counselor, said you get what you pay for. You know, which is funny when we're discussing things like the police budget, or we're hiring contractors to do our roads or do our line painting and road paintings, kind of like spelling school wrong. Even though those were the lowest bidders. But I guess, you know, you can use those talking points when they fit your own narrative. But bottom line is, shouldn't we be looking at the best way to save money? But they said that they basically were insinuating that Melanson was nowhere near as good as Scanlon. which I thought was how insulting to a reputable, established company that does municipal audits in several states. And this was a chance for us to get a new company and have a new set of eyes on this. But even our finance director, Matt Kerwood, said nope, they'd have to play catch up. And he kind of contradicted himself, because at the same time he was saying they all play by the same playbook, the same rules, there's no difference. But then he said there was a difference. And that's why we had to stay with Scanlon. And believe me, I have nothing against Scanlon or any of that. I'm going to say the same thing many counselors said. It's not putting one company down. I think that's incredibly unprofessional when you're talking about such serious work. But again, the state recommends that you rotate auditors. But we're going to stick with the same old, same old. Counselor Marchetti basically said, listen, I'm here out of a common courtesy to all the counselors on here. That's all that we're talking about this for. This is basically what he said. He said that the committee, the selection committee, once we selected it, we were told that we could issue that contract to them. Done deal. I'm just here as a common courtesy to all the other counselors up here. I thought that was kind of rude. He cut Kenny Warren, our Ward 1 city councilor, off. He said, nope, you've already spoke twice. That's enough. Done. End of discussion. Done. So we're going to stick with Scanlon, the same accounting firm we've had since, I believe, 2002, and we'll be making no changes there. So, and I guess the savings in money, even though we're getting ready to see what happens with taxes again here in the next month or so, but that's that. So a lot of people were very upset about that, and they wonder why, people distrust our government. Because this administration especially, you hear little from, ever. You see little transparency, little communication on everything. There's always these secret things, and they like to throw them out at campaign time. Gaga, see what I've done? I mean, it's crazy. Just like the mayor at the Berkshire Innovation Center that day, coming out with her podium and telling us, that's right, folks, NASA is coming to Pittsfield. Does everyone remember that? When the reality was, no, there's a company in there that does work, that makes parts or makes things that might be or possibly or are used by NASA. No, let's twist and spin that to NASA is coming to Pittsfield. And those were her words. The same person who her first time she ran for mayor, when she was elected the first time, was against the Berkshire Innovation Center. But never, ever, ever let the truth get in the way of a good campaign promise. So all that happened. There's a lot to talk about. I'm gonna try to get some more information and reach out to some of the counselors on this. So anyway, all that has happened. There's a lot going on in the market today. Meta, this platform that owns Facebook, big trouble. As of the opening of the stock market today, they will be $70 billion in the hole just today. Their shares future shares are down 26% due to all these crazy changes they've made. So I'm going to talk about that in a different video when I talk about some other stuff during that week of business stuff. So again, that's it for now. If you can donate clothing, coats, anything to the Christian Center, 193 Robbins Avenue. And this Saturday, Proprietors Lodge, 7 p.m., the debut of Silent Dignity, which is a film honoring Vietnam War veterans and telling some of their personal stories. 7 p.m., it's free to the public, Saturday, October 29th. Be there. It's important. Support these guys. Support not just these guys, but all our Vietnam War veterans. Support them. They deserve the respect they never got. And I think it's such an important thing to do work for our veterans. So a huge thank you to Wayne Soares, who I did an interview with, and I'll put that link in the comment section of this. So again, for the 100th time, that is it for now. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll catch you all in the next day or two.